Thank you for turning to page 121. Welcome back to page 121. Today I want to talk a little bit about inspiration being where you find it. In this case, comic books. I've been a comic collector even longer than I played D&D, and I was inspired by this particular issue of The Mighty Thor, published for the February 1967 issue, so it would have been out in about November of 66. It's the first appearance of the mighty troll Ulik. I love Ulik. He's a really powerful Thor villain. He's a pretty obscure one, but he was an inspiration for me to create a very powerful troll that I would have appear in my game that I was running at a club at the time. I had a group of players that were getting a little full of themselves about how powerful they were. I wanted to come up with somebody who would bring them back to reality a little bit. I found my inspiration for that somebody here in this issue. As an aside, this is also the issue that introduces Sif, who would become Thor's girlfriend for a while. For quite a while, there's Sif in her first appearance. But Ulik, mighty troll, almost as strong as Thor, vicious metal pounders on his fists, could fight Thor to a standstill. This picture of Ulik by the late great Jack Kirby kind of says it all. That is a very powerful picture. In fact, when I used to run Ulik, or run my knockoff in the game, I would show everybody this picture to show them exactly what they were getting into. Now, I did not use the name Ulik for my giant troll. I called him Brulik. Haha, kind of clever, huh? And Brulik was, at the time, this would be about 1982 to 83, very powerful, very frightening for about a 10th level group of characters. Specifically, he was in there for 2 or 3 fighters who were getting running roughshod a little bit over the other players, getting their way by hint of being stronger. So I just thought I'd put somebody in to take them down a peg. So Brulik was born. So I would show them this picture of Ulik, never ever claimed he was an original creation, and then basically Brulik would go to the attack. Brulik was this guy. Friend of mine, one of my players at the time, found this figure and bought it and painted it for me, and he became Brulik. So I'll show you a better shot of Brulik in a moment. But Brulik was roughly 16 hit dice, armor class -3, right around 90 hit points. Ridiculous, like I want to say like +12, +20 attack and damage. He was there to be ridiculous. He regen 5 points per round. He was there to be ridiculous and to be kind of my boogeyman to come out and scare my players. Brulik became so loved and so feared in my campaign that he popped up a lot, well, especially while I was busy with that club, which ended in about the mid-80s. Brulik made several appearances there, and I'm going to go ahead and show you Brulik now in a little bit better setting. There's old Brulik, a little bit better look at him, sitting inside this ruin. Brulik ran roughshod over my campaign for a couple of years. He was my boogeyman. I'd bring out now and again when players kind of needed to be caught up a little short. The player who painted him he hasn't played in a game in a long, long time. He moved away many years ago. Thank you, Al, for the great picture, or great painting. And a few years ago at Adepticon, which is a gaming event that's held in March in northwest suburban Chicago every year. It's primarily for Warhammer and other tabletop war games. I go there with my sons every year, but a lot of times there'll be old D&D stuff that people will be looking to offload. This was one of them. A buddy of mine found it there at Adepticon and bought him for me because he recognized the figure as being the same one that I used for Brulik. So this guy became Brulik's brother, Krulik. So I had Brulik and Krulik based on Ulik from the Thor comic books. So again, inspiration is where you find it. I get a lot from comic books and have for years. I enjoy bringing comic books to D&D. I was lucky enough to play D&D for my earliest 10 years or so with two other big comic book fans. So it was a lot of fun putting this stuff on the table and then seeing them recognize it. So that's all I have for today for page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Well, that closes the book on another episode of page 121. Please leave your comments below, and if you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.